Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome to Dano Crypto. On this channel, we show you guys how to make simple, effective, and easy moves in the cryptocurrency ecosystems. Now, I want you guys to do the housekeeping. I want you to hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, ding the bell to be notified. So whenever we go live, which is Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, you'll be notified immediately, and then you can join the daily live streams. And you can join the Dano Dojo crew by checking out all the links in the description. And so let's get the show on the road. Let's get in our buff Doge mode. Ticker Bitcoin Harry Potter Obama Sonic Teninu bullishness mode. And we are going to get the show on the road. So right now, I mean, we could talk about so much. There's so much happening right now. We could really just talk for probably hours, but we are going to keep it pretty simple, okay? There's a few things. We got the Trump administration basically spearheading crypto regulation, but it's not really working out. We are stalling on still a few of the bills. I think that is why trillions of dollars is still sitting on the sidelines. And there's another reason why I think there's still trillions waiting to jump in. And Cathie Wood actually revealed this as well recently in an interview, calling out Binance, saying that the 10/10 liquidation event is not over with. It's not done. There's still unravelings. Things have not been said in public of certain companies going completely bankrupt and getting completely destroyed. So we think there's a few catalysts that is actually giving us this bearish price action. And so people are calling me crazy that I'm calling for a $54,000 Bitcoin. And hey, I feel kind of crazy myself saying it. I mean, I was super bullish. I would say I was pretty wrong on thinking that we were going to get our breakout, our parabolic super cycle phase. You know, we were super extended and it was looking like we were about to pop. And then everyone was thinking that same thing. It looked like it was about to hit that next level. And we had the rug pulled on us by what happened with the liquidation event, the massive deleveraging event on 10/10. And so Binance came out with a statement basically blaming Ethereum for it. They just blamed Ethereum for it. So there's that. That's happening. Then now Binance is also, with quote, not really taking responsibility, is now buying Bitcoin with Seifu funds to kind of console the market and say, okay, look, we're buying the dip. But it's funny because it's not really working. Even they're buying the dip, but I don't really see how that's working on the price action right now because we see it consolidating. So it's funny. It's just like when Michael Saylor puts in a buy and announces that he just bought a bunch of Bitcoin, the price seems to go down. We're like, how? How does it keep going down when these big buys keep going in? It's like, what is happening? And so let's look at the ETFs real quick. And then we're going to kind of go down a couple different charts to give you a reason of maybe why the price action is happening the way it is. And so primarily for Bitcoin, we're still seeing sell pressure. So yesterday was an inflow from BlackRock and Fidelity, 153. But if you see, BlackRock backed off and only did half of the buy volume. And then if you look and see, everyone else sold. So yesterday, on the 2nd, we had $561 million inflow. And then the next day we had 272 flow right out. But then if you look at the last days of January, we had just, I mean, look, almost $1 billion outflowed. Then we had over $500 million the next day. And so that has just been, so it's been pretty much more so almost kind of like a standstill of outflows and inflows, because compared to what the maximum was of the inflows was 1.3 billion. I'd say I was looking like, yeah, I mean, the sell pressure's just been bad. And it has a lot to do with the ETFs. But then also it has to do with Binance and the liquidation levels that happen, all the stuff with 1010. And I'll use Dogecoin as an example, because Dogecoin is an altcoin that is heavily traded. Hey, Julie, I am not a bear. I am still bull. I am super bullish all the time. I'm always bullish to my detriment. But when I see an obvious short-term bear trend, you know, right here, we've been in a long-term bear trend, obviously. I mean, from 126, if you look at it compared to gold and silver, crypto's been in a bear market since, you know, for a while. And it's hard to come to the realization, because when you're in crypto, you're making content, you almost kind of feel obligated to be bullish, because if you don't want to be like the bearer of bad news, you know, and sometimes you get caught up in this, but it's also good to be good to your community and say, hey, look, here's the bearish case scenario, here's the bullish case scenario. We're retardio, and we're probably going to be more bullish than bearish, and then so it's up to you to figure that out, you know. So we always give the bearish case scenario. If you've watched this channel long enough, we've tried our best to say, hey, if we're bullish, if this level holds, we break here. If we lose it, it might go down here. It's going to suck. And a lot of times people don't want to hear that. But yeah, so we're neutral. We're always neutrally optimistic and bullish for the overall macro of crypto. But obviously, look at the charts. I mean, when you look at Dogecoin, I mean, it's volatile. It's volatile. You know, we have our seasons where it's good to be holding alts. We have our seasons where it's probably better to be in stables and holding Bitcoin and not being in alts. If you were able to you're never going to time it perfect, but if your portfolio's up 5x, you better take some damn profits and don't sit on your hands for too much, because you do got to do something when you pay yourself like this. That's the problem that everyone's so pissed off about, is they got too bullish and they didn't take profits. You know, like they got way too bullish and didn't take profits. Like, and it's okay, because we get convinced that we have to be 100% diamond handed all the time, that's so not true. It all is relative to what your portfolio looks like. Shout out to Graham. He's come on the channel 2 times. He is Ticker Bitcoin community member, market maker, dev, you know, kind of all the things for Ticker Bitcoin. Probably more than I realize. But either way, he's been seasoned, and to give an example is that it's all relative. He gave it a good example. So it's all relative of where you're at in your journey. And say like your portfolio could be like 10x right now. Can you see Portal? So I'm reading the chat. Oh, sorry, I don't have my chat up on the screen. Let me get my chat. So I can see what the heck is going on. Is it working? For some reason, my chat is not popping up on the screen. Okay, I can see. All right, so shout out to everyone who's here right now. I really appreciate it. But we're basically giving you the thesis of like why it's all relative of where you're at. You know, it's all relative of where you're at in your portfolio. You could have been DCAing a lot earlier than most, and then you could have been taking profits on the way up, or even trying to, you know, take profits on the way down, so you can at least kind of hedge and be like, okay, I don't know how much this is going to go down. I don't know when it's going to recover, but maybe I should have a little bit of stables on the side. and then you can kind of go from there. But yes, it really is all relative to where you're at. But what's cool now about this particular market is that before Trump was elected, okay, here's the deal. Before Trump was elected, if we go back, price action, you go back up, let's go back a week. We'll go on it, we'll clean up the chart. We'll use the Coinbase chart, and we'll just take all these drawings off real quick so you guys can see the chart clear. And we have this, and we have the 200-week moving average on here so you guys can see kind of how 200-week simple moving average is a pretty good judge of where we've bounced off of it too. We've went under it, and then once we've went under it, we don't stay under it for too long. And in the history of Bitcoin, going back in the bull market from 2016-17, you know, that was kind of like where we have usually found some support out of going off of that area. Because you can see here, like we were right there, and then here we gained support, but we went under it. We kind of scooped. But then once we found support, we had these levels where each time it's touched it, we've kind of bounced off it. We even haven't touched it. We didn't touch it here, and we were getting close. This is what everyone's calling for. Not everyone, but you know, a 58K Bitcoin. I was thinking a little bit more on the medium range of 64, 62, 63. But let's just go back a little bit in the history here and see where we've had these downturns. 19K 2017. 2018 we end up bottoming at 3,000. We went up in 2019, we double topped. We touched right back down really close to where we were. But it took a little bit. You see January. Then in March, that was COVID. That was like the doom bottom, you know, that was like where it really took a nice fall. Look at where it went right back up. So then now we want to really analyze what we were talking about is right before Trump got elected. About right here, November, and you can see we're right back where a lot of people were bullish and were buying. So my point is, this is a gift. This is if you didn't successfully take profits in any of these portions up here, it is okay. You're going to get another chance. You're going to get another chance. And we'll show you another chart that is represented in the meme euphoria and also the meme grave. And it's represented by ticker Bitcoin. Now, ticker Bitcoin, if you look at it on the weekly chart, it's basically shown the representation of the meme euphoric wave and sentiment of crypto Twitter. I probably could this chart. I could probably show it to you better on the deck screener chart. So give me just a second. I'll pull up the deck screener chart. But this is where, you know, some coins do represent. They represent the feelings of a certain sector. So like ticker Bitcoin for me, I realized a while ago was basically that. No, what the heck? Did we get a new Wojak? What the heck? I'm sorry, guys. I haven't looked at this in a second, and something is like really strange here. We got a new Wojak. There's I mean, I know they tried to revamp Wojak on Solana, but now they made another one on ETH 8 days ago. What in the world? What in the... Yeah, it's the meme coin volatility index. Yeah, that's the best way to put it. Where is my freaking chart? Dex screener's like all messed up right now. There we go. Jeez. Yeah, because when you pull up liquidity, this is best bet. This is what I like to do. If you're clicking on ETH or Sol or whatever it may be, you can click on liquidity in Dex screener, and it'll pull up what has the highest liquidity. You can see Chainlink and Pepe, SPX, Floki, Tether Gold. You can see has added a lot of volume in that pair because we're starting to see the heck. In the world? Sorry, guys. I don't know what was going on with my camera. Just like totally wigged out. I think I got it working. All right, cool. All right, so let's get back to work. All right, so ticker Bitcoin. It's the meme volatility index, basically. And this chart is the one I got to look at. Yeah, this is the one that I've been looking at for years now. It's the one where I've honestly have had a lot of epiphanies, breakthroughs. You know, just where I've been mad at myself, had regrets and all that is in this chart. It's really bad because it has revealed so many things to me. We'll full screen it. And why, and I'll tell you, I'll just give you, I guess, a little bit of a backstory on this coin and why I have such interest in it, just like I do like Pepe and these particular coins that have that I found all at the same time. Like I found a lot of these coins at the same time. And the thing that I guess has frustrated me the most is whenever I did find these coins, I felt that feeling. It's like and Ragsy explained this feeling. Other people have explained this feeling too, and it's something that they can't really, it's hard to put into words. But when you see something and you're just like, that's it. You're like, this is it. You just have this feeling. Like I had it with Ponky. I even had it, I saw with Bonk. There were like Solana early on. I saw it with Pepe when I saw Pepe and the Wojak kind of combo and some of these and then ticker Bitcoin right after. I was like, this is hilarious. I said, well, with ticker Bitcoin is where I really felt like I faded it. It made me laugh and I said, this is hilarious But it's weird. I put like judgment on it. I put this weird judgment on it. I saw the Sprotos. I thought the Sprotos were evil. I don't know what the heck I was even thinking. I'm dead ass serious. It just proves that like you can't just like immediately judge something right off the immediate appearance, or if you have a certain assumption of something. Like I swear to God, I like, for in my mind, like how I like if like I was a little kid or something, and I heard, like Godsmack or something, and I was like, is this too heavy? I don't know. It's just fucking, it's so stupid. But I'm telling you the truth. When I first actually saw this whole thing, I was like, I don't know about this. This looks this is like degenerate as hell to the max. But hilariously, it ends up being the community that I attracted to the most, and now I'm a part of, but not by my own doing, which is hilarious. And now it's the meme coin that I like the most, and that I have now bought the most of, and have kind of doubled down on. The reason being is because it's almost like it's such an open, free, kind of almost like it's such a weird thing. And I guess what you can describe it as is an egregore. It creates itself, A good meme coin community is something that you don't have to. It's like it can kind of organize itself. There are some leaders. There are some people that, quote, keep the thing alive. But at the same time, it's all represented by the actual community itself, And Graham made a really good point. He said, this is one of the few communities, meme coin communities, that doesn't get recognized enough for how many millionaires it did make, and how many chances it gave us to double or triple or even quadruple our, quote, investments. And it shows you the cycle very much so right in the chart. Like you can see it. It's like each time we made new highs were points of euphoria. This was after Pepe. And then this is when I discovered it. So it's pretty interesting how one particular coin, it could be a few coins. A lot of it could be like, some of them, for some people, was Dogecoin. Dogecoin was a catalyst for a lot of people to get in the markets, to start looking at crypto. But for this one, for me, is just like, I really try and study this chart. I really try and study it. You can almost look at this section here, or this section here, as a mini section of here. It's all based on euphoria, volume, sentiment. You can see this, like you could probably like take this, copy and paste this bar line right here, and just put it right here. It's just not as big. But then if you were to take this part, which is happening now, right here, the all-time high, lower high, another lower high, and then pain, and then from that pain, you got a 437% move to the upside. You have a high, you have a lower high, you have another lower high, and now we have pain. And now all I see is patterns repeating. I'm really good at patterns. I'm a drummer. And all we have to do is get back to the previous recent high, and that's 594%. I don't know what else I have to fucking tell you. Sorry for the language, excuse my language, but I get frustrated at myself that it had to take me 4 years. It had to take me 4 years of chopping myself up, leverage trading, doing all the crap, whatever. And all you have to do is just buy spot when everything looks like crap. All you got to do is just buy spot. Pretty simple. No one wants to hear it because it's because it's too boring. No one wants to hear that. It's too boring. It's too boring to buy spot and then chill once it gets up to this point. No one wants to hear that. And I get it. But this was prerequisite. This was your schooling. Now it's time to actually graduate. Okay. Now it's time to graduate. And we don't make the same mistakes that we did all through here. Because we all probably did. So, this is what is happening with Binance, which is hilarious. They said they set up a Seifu Fund asset conversion progress. This is their progress update with it. Binance has completed the second batch of Bitcoin conversion for the Seifu Fund, amounting to $100 million in stablecoin. So now they've injected 200 million or 300 million or so to buy Bitcoin, but is it going to show my comment? Yeah, I said, okay, you guys. I was like, you're ridiculous. I was like, the jig is up. I was like, your Seifu Fund isn't working, and neither is Michael Saylor's. And Leonidas has been going hard, but this is the thing that I was seeing. I was like, this is so annoying. Is just like when I was seeing the BNB chain getting all this PR, all the reposts, all the stuff with the BNB memes and CZ with broccoli. And I don't know if you guys remember that, but Jake was a big shiller of it. And then now I see 17 hours ago, he says Binance account opened. Shout out to Binance and CZ, proud to use the #1 exchange in crypto. And I was like, okay. Now to bring it into some other news that I'm sure you guys are following is the DOJ documents reveal about who really built Bitcoin. But it still doesn't really reveal, it's not revealing who built Bitcoin. We still don't really know. We have some ideas. But who cares? At the end of the day, does it really matter who built it? It's the same with the meme coins. The same, does it really matter who minted the contract for Pepe? Does it really matter who minted the contract for ticker Bitcoin? The thing that matters is that what does the chart say? What does the chart say? Well, all the charts look like trash. The only ones that look good right now are gold and silver. And this is even with it acting like a meme coin, because it went up to this top 120 and look, it just got bought right back up at 71. It got bought right back up at 71. And look, we actually called that. We said, look, silver's going right into that money zone. It's going to retrace, and then they're going to pump it right back up, and it's going to go to probably $150 to $200 an ounce per silver. So it is going to trade kind of like a meme coin. So just be prepared. Reason being is this is it's being traded like crazy, paper traded with tokenization and the papers futures market for silver and also in gold. But if you look at the exchanges right now, the crypto exchanges, there's more volume being traded on silver and gold, tokenized silver and gold, than there is on crypto. So It's like a lot of people just stopped trading crypto on these exchanges and then they just started trading gold and silver. Wild. Pretty wild. All right, well, I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you're not getting too fudded out of your bags right now. This is my theory. It's a bearish one, but it's also bullish. It's actually super bullish. So we have the full completion of, real quick, I want to make sure, because I want to keep these here. I want to make sure, I want to keep these drawings here. I like keeping my drawings here, though, especially the ones that I feel like are pretty prophetic drawings. We all like to draw lines on the chart and make it confirm our bias. That's what people said in the Ticker Bitcoin chat today. They were like, we all like to draw stuff on the chart to, but this one, the reason why I have this particular level marked as the CZ Black Swan is I see all of this stuff coming into a head with 1010 and CZ or Binance or whatever, Justin Sun, someone's getting in trouble. Someone is going to end up being in the news, getting blasted for whatever it may be. I don't know when or how it's going to happen, what's going to happen, who it's going to be. But Binance is looking like an FTX right now. I'm just going to say it. It's looking like a Luna FTX situation. No one wants to accept it or believe it. And I think the unraveling of Binance started with 1010 and it's going to continue with this Bitcoin hitting the 200-week moving average. It's like a perfect storm setup for then the Clarity Act and all the stuff for the markets being regulated to pass, and then Binance won't exist anymore. Because I made a post about all this, and the post was as follows. Now, I said, get your money off exchanges right now. Now, here's the deal. I have to be responsible. I don't give a crap what anyone tells me or what they tell me that how I should run my channel, how I should say things. Here's the deal. You know what? When things get really bad, you need to protect yourself, okay? It's just like if you want to protect yourself fully, you think you're going to quote, call the police and get protection like the moment you call? No, they got to drive. They might not even come. You have to protect yourself. So you can't rely on all these exchanges to quote, have your funds be safe. You really just want to have what you're kind of trading or what you're, just kind of a little bit of your bag on exchanges. And then you mostly should have it on your wallet, whether it be a hot wallet or a cold wallet, and you store your crypto. That is what needs to be taught to people. Okay. Because that is the truth. And so what I mean by get your money off exchanges is when things get bad, withdrawals stop. Okay. That's just what happens. We've seen it before. When things get bad, withdrawals stop. Exchanges are just like banks. Sometimes they don't have the reserves to pay everyone. So when you try and get your funds out, they go, they shut the gate. It's just like a bank, okay? I don't know why. You have to learn this. And if you don't already know this, well, now you know. Because when the other shit happened before in the quote in the bear market, and what sent us into the bear market was the major confidence in FTX and Luna, and it just was too much. People had too much confidence in Binance to always continue to be operating how they are operating. It's not going to work. Here's my theory why. Binance experiencing millions in withdrawals and had to pause them. Does it sound familiar? Another FTX event right around the corner. Think about it. Binance knows they can't do this forever with new market structure coming. and regulation. And so what they have to do is set up multiple events like 1010 to get funds off themselves without directly telling everyone that they're about to go belly up and close. But last time people suspected something was fishy and started to withdraw before any announcements were made for FTX, and the same with Terra Luna, some people kind of smelled it was really fishy and they're like, I'm out. They're like, nope, not getting burned again. So I can see this happening right now. And I said, so if my instinct and intuition is correct, and this is the black swan event, that will trigger Bitcoin hitting its 200-week simple moving average at around the 50K levels. I said, but the kicker of all this is I think the whole pardoning of CZ from Trump and the connection between the World Liberty Financial Trump family DeFi protocol is way deeper than we can imagine, especially with the ties with Justin Sun. Remember, Justin Sun invested $500 million, over almost $1 billion in this protocol. The futures market and the cryptocurrency markets are going to soon be fully regulated, and Binance will cease to exist. The reason why institutional investors are not going to inflow into the Bitcoin ETFs and spot fully with size is because Binance still exists. So until they know the direct threat is taken out, which is pointed out by Cathie Wood, that's Binance. They're not coming in fully yet, but it's coming. It's right around the corner.
The money center banks have been sitting on their hands for years, crapping on the crypto industry, but it's not about Bitcoin. Nothing to do with Bitcoin. It's digital payment systems. That's the potential. That's the amazing opportunity we have here. Now, the reason that will be important and why we'll get price appreciation on Bitcoin is the minute that happens, it will signal the move to the next act, the Market Infrastructure Act. And why that matters to everybody in this room is we will finally determine, is Bitcoin a commodity or a security? And when that is determined,
or if Bitcoin could be wash traded in Cayman Islands over into Wintermute or whatever, and then be wash traded and dumped, and why Sol keeps going from 170 right back down to 100 and then to 170 and right back down to 100, and why everything just keeps bumping and bumping and running and bumping and running. Because that keeps happening. And I think it is now going to unravel. And this is my theory. This is what I'm sticking to this as to why we are going to just we're going to get cooked here. Now there's another theory, but this is all based on chart fundamentals. Okay. So this is based on fundamentals. Now that was the narrative for price. Okay. That was the narrative for price to bring you into what could cause it and why that is the catalyst, or could be the catalyst. Now you take in the fundamentals and you look at previous support. So you just have to look at previous support, and you have to look at what had formed a bear flag. Now bear flags have some of them have two different phases. You got phase one. Okay. And then, which we hit perfectly. We're literally finishing phase one. And we have now phase two. We're about to finish phase two. Phase two is the top resistance at 115 going to the bottom candle or the wick. We're going from the top of the wick, and now we're going to see where that price leads. It's right in the money. Money shot. 66,000. Maybe even 69,000 to be funny. Bitcoin sometimes Bitcoin has a sense of humor. And look at the support here. Now the difference is now you go on the inverse of where we had in 2024 in January on my birthday. Lo and behold, if I would have just been smart enough to just be confident in myself and just go max long on my birthday and say, you know what? I'm going to change this. Then that would have been the biggest trade of my life. It's funny now. You go to my birthday, and if I would have been like, I'm gonna go long on my birthday, I would have gotten destroyed. See, I would have had the inclination, let me just go short on my birthday. And it would have been the complete opposite direction. So that's hilarious. Okay, so now you can see you have this big bull flag that did the completion of the full phase 2. Going up to the top, breaking all-time highs. So now I think we just have to finish the phase of the bear flag. Someone's got to go to jail, and then that's the last capitulation event. And then we're off to the moon. And then that's it. Market structure's there. People start actually flowing trillions into the asset, and then that's where it's basically like nothing and then all at once. That's when I think Bitcoin does go to 200K, 385,000. It's like they got to take them out. Someone's got to get taken out. Every time the market's been able to go, it's because someone got taken out. They have to take someone out. They took out Celsius. They took out, or they took themselves out. FTX, they took FTX out. Terra Luna. It's like a final boss. Don't believe me? Just freaking watch. Just watch. I'm this time I feel like I've gotten some, I've watched this market so much now and have made the stupid decision instead of the smartest one. We'll eat a gummy bear for that. All right, so you see it in the title. Sol. If Bitcoin goes that low, where do you think Sol's going to go? Now, if you remember, order blocks have been revealing a lot of really good prices. A big order block of support where Sol was bought up was at $45. Now, if you remember, previously, whenever we got an ETH ETF and a Bitcoin ETF, we actually went down in price. We have a Sol ETF, if you remember, but they're not inflowing into it. Why? Because Sol is being wash traded by big exchanges like Binance. Once that stops and the markets get regulated, institutions come in and buy Sol at 46 because that's where they bought last time. But they weren't anticipating pump fund and all this stuff. But then now that that's part of the equation, we've lost support here. We lost support at 96. If we lose support at 78, sorry, Sol's going to $45. But are you going to buy? Because look what happened last time. A lot of people thought Sol was going to go to zero and never come back again right here at $8. Imagine if you were to just have hedged against that bearishness right there. Legendary. So there might be some same bearishness that hits right here. And so now that we've learned this, we have to inverse the bearishness, because then you'll get that V-shape inverse head and shoulders, whatever you want to call it, recovery. back to all-time high. And then if you bought down here, spot, like straight up just spot, you just going back to the all-time highs, you just made 463% on your investment. And then just imagine if you put in a limit order here, because these things love to just go poof. I don't know how fast it's going to do it. I don't know if it's going to go over in a span of a couple days. Will it happen in a week or 2 weeks? Will it happen in one giant nuke candle and then it wick? This is why it's tricky, guys. It's not that easy. Don't make it easy for us. But what can make it easy if we can make it easy is our risk management, our strategy, a plan, set limit orders. We have the ability on every single platform we use, whether it be WEEX or your wallet. I mean, a lot of times now, and now on like Jupiter or whatever DEX protocol you're using, you can set limit orders on everything. So this is what we need to be doing right now. So any of these entries that we're calling on this channel, you know, you could say, all right, I'm going to put a limit order on this. But don't do it just because I said it. I want you to build up your own confirmation and see if that lines up, you know? But ultimately, this is bullish. Like, this is not bearish. This is very, very bullish. And if you want to play a scalp trade, you want to say, all right, well, if that's the case, then I'll short it. But then you also have to know, like, there's always bounce points because they love liquidating in these areas, but then they'll bounce it on a wick. And then look what they did right here. They did it right here. Look at where they give you a little bit of hope. They brought it back up to 143, but then look where we went from 143. We're right back down to 90. It didn't last. The same thing can happen right here where we hit somewhere, right? We might hit this, we might hit that line and bounce, and it just then it goes, you know? So you just have to be prepared. You have to wait. What kind of trader are you gonna be? Are you gonna be a wait and see? Are you gonna take advantage of the scalp opportunity and then have a little bit of liquidity that you can put towards then now putting a limit order at the low? Kind of a little combination of both. If you're gonna do so, make sure you check out the links in the description. And also, if you sign up with the link, with the WEEX link, you're gonna get access into the Discord, and also you get Telegram signals. You're going to get it all. So we really appreciate it. We want to bless the Sprotos. If you're into NFTs, I think the Sproto Gremlins are a great barrier to entry and to teach you about NFTs. I think it's a really good price point. Sprotos at their all-time highs were 4 ETH. I think that was its all-time high was 4 ETH, and this is when ETH was about $1,500 at the time. So some of these Sprotos had sold for a floor of around that price, which is pretty crazy. Amazing. And so now some of these Sprotos are now floored at around just a second. $435. Nice. But there's some really cool ones. So the thing about the Sprotos is that some of them are going to be more attractive to you than others. There's going to be traits. There are no traits, but you end up giving the Sprotos traits. Like you're like, okay, which ones have more of the hedgehog spikes? Which ones have different color eyes? Which ones have their hands like this? You know, there's all these. So we attribute the traits to them, the community. The background color. This is fun. Whose Sproto is this? I feel like this was someone's Sproto. Was this? I thought this was Vamp's. This looks like Vamp's Sproto. But I haven't heard from from Vamp in a while. I don't know. You guys got to help me. If any Sprotos are watching right now, that Sproto looks really familiar. Oh, this is the one that I like. Yeah, this is like, I have the ones that I start to gravitate towards, and it's the ones that look like they're wearing glasses, and they also have some kind of like amulet or some kind of necklace, and the lines are clean, like it's real clean lines. Certain hand gestures or anything like that, that's always something that I like to check out. But see, this is being sold for $1,362. See, I feel like people listen to me and they're like, "Oh yeah, you like that? Okay, well yeah, you're gonna have to pay." But it's fine. It's okay. But see, I did it to myself, because if I were to just like a cheaper one, then I'd just buy the cheaper one. But it is what it is. But see, I have my plan. I have my instincts. I know why I'm going to end up getting all these certain ones with these certain traits to them, because I'm acquiring 3 Sprotos. I'm probably going to keep one for as long as I can, one, and then I'll sell the other 2 when they're, massively in profit, and then people, believe in NFTs again, or they start to realize that one of the most famous digital artists and underground artists too in the world right now, Beeple, who a lot of people are paying attention to, his favorite NFT project is the Sprotos. Oh, it's not Vamps, just a famous Sproto. Okay, yeah, I've seen that Yeah, I thought it was it looked kind of like Vamps, but I've seen that Sproto. Yeah, that Sproto I've seen. It's so recognizable. This one, that like, I almost want to buy it. It's got like a dog nose. It's got like it's got like a hedgehog nose. It looks like a shiny wet dog nose. We love describing Sprotos. It's fun. This one's wild. That one's price not too bad. But yeah, you just got to go through and you just got to see which ones are floored right now. And these aren't too bad, but some of these, like for instance, like I'm just not into these, like maybe this one because of the blue eyes, and it does have clean lines, and it also is priced very well. But you also want to see what the last sale was, or what the top offer, any of that stuff, because then you'll know what you're working with. Like you'll see how the value transferred through certain Sprotos. And so there's a reason why I picked mine. The top offer for the one that I bought for 500 was at 1500. So I'm thinking like, hey, if I did want to sell that, then I would be making a pretty good, decent return on it. But I'm not selling it till it's worth 10 ETH. So these things are going to be like CryptoPunks. I mean, you guys remember, we had freaking Bored Apes and Zombie Apes and some stuff that was selling for an insane amount when the NFTs were popping off, and it was kind of ridiculous. People were paying, you believe this? People were paying the amount of the floor price that I just showed you just for the gas fee to buy an NFT. Like, woo! Insanity. Just insanity. Then we got the tie. This one has a tie. Very, very red Kev. Very red Kev. Shout out to Red Kev. See, there should be more Sprotos watching the live stream, because we give you guys shout outs all the time, and we could almost name most of the Sprotos. I mean, it's at least the ones that are always predominantly in my timeline. we got Red Kev, GB, Jinxie J, Halloween, More Light, Bong Cracker, Plastic, man, freaking Turbo and the damn Telegram always giving me a hard time. Who else? Oh, Ozzy Osbourne. Shout out to Ozzy. Man, who else? Yeah, we probably have to just go to Jinxie's Why do I not? I can't. Can I not spell? Is it Jinx Y? What the freaking hell? X has not been working properly. Like anytime I want to find someone's name, but everyone's names are so weird with their abbreviations, and then I can never find their freaking handle. Help me. It's like Jinxie J, Jinxie YJ. He did the Sproto yearbook photo. This right here, I'll show you guys. It's really cool. I go to my NFT wallet, and then when I look at my real wallet, I'm like, gah. Down over 100%. Was zoom in properly on this. Yeah, this is really cool. I don't know what other community has done this where literally like someone from the community can name every single Sproto, has drawn all of the Sprotos that are recognizable, and then also have attributed their particular like persona and put different, and also hand drawn, put clothes on them. It's so cool. And my wife, I was trying to explain it to my wife, and she was like, how does he know? Like, how do you know that's your Sproto? And I was like, and then it's like the Vince, it's like the Vince. It's like the Vince McMahon video where you say he's like, I can't answer. He starts crying. Why? How can he notice that? Well, how does he know? How does he know it's your Sproto? And you're like, it's because the best meme coin in the world. It's the end game. It's the end game. That's why. That's why he can do it. No other community can do it. But yeah. It's funny. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, maybe I just use the right keyword. See if I do Sproto yearbook. See, terrible. X sucks. X is the worst. How do I not have it in the search? Look, if you want to see my search here, this is what I searched recently. Trump clips from Davos, Pepe, MoonPay, WEEX, CZ, Leonidas, Marty Party, Crypto, Binance, Red Kev. Look, see, I'm not afraid to show my search. It's not AI slop, some kind of, doesn't say boobs. I have a very clean search for X. What in the world? Why can't I find him? It's like I've been shadow banned from one of my favorite accounts and one of my favorite artists. This is ridiculous. How do you spell his name? Help me. Where are the Sprotos at? I feel like I'm talking to myself again. GB, I see you. You're on X. How many people are watching on X? I feel like I'm getting shadow banned again. All right. It's decent. Sproto yearbook. Sproto. Okay. Yearbook. There we go. Mr. YX. Yeah, there we go. That's probably like not why I'm not getting it. Just went full screen, baby. Mr. YX. Dude, what the heck? Look at this. It won't find. There you are. Oh my gosh. I'm like, I'm going to shill you. I will not give up. I will shill you. All right. this person has done such cool art and needs to be recognized. And you need to buy his stuff. You need to repost him in Kraken and in Coinbase. They keep using his stuff, and then they're just, what, are they just not going to hire him? You just keep using his art, but you're not gonna pay the person making the coolest art on crypto Twitter right now to do your advertise. Get out of it. No, I'm not gonna have it. Nope. Coinbase, Kraken Pro. Who's going to hire him first? If you don't, I will. It's an outrage. Where is the Kraken repost where Kraken? Maybe I need to go up into the search and search Kraken with Jinxie J. Kraken. Yeah, look. This is Jay. Who's the Kraken Pro intern? I want to know. Multi-tickers, same tickets. I love it. You know, I think what the meme coins can really do and what they're meant to do is to really it's to have fun. I think sometimes the Bitcoin price and the ETH price or whatever, you know, the big tokens, you know, it can get a little heavy. It can feel a little heavy. And then you discover something like Ticker Bitcoin and it makes you laugh, you know, it makes you believe in something again. And it gives you a sense of humor. It gives you a sense of humor again. Oh, I do want to remind you guys of what we have seen before, where we came from, and where we are going. If you don't have the attention span to stay or pay attention or to listen, okay. Have fun staying poor. Just kidding. Imagine telling your coworkers you're quitting because Harry Potter Obama Sonic 10 new coin mooned. Imagine the media reporting. I mean, this is what we were all able to do with a lot of different meme coins, but we didn't believe enough. especially when they were in the toilet. And I'll just show you the chart again. We're in another toilet. And will you believe? And it's not just with this. It's with whatever you studied, whatever you understand, whatever you've developed your thesis on. Doesn't have to be the same as mine, but you need to apply the same way that we're talking through this right now to keep you in the game. Same way keeps you in the game. You eliminate the noise. You eliminate all the noise. Okay? Be happy that it happened. Be happy that you learned something. And be really happy that you just might get another chance. All right. I think that's enough. We appreciate you guys coming in. I don't know how many likes we got. Maybe, hopefully, we got over 10 likes. The likes have been a little lackluster recently. But it is what it is. We digress. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being a part of the live streams. We would appreciate more comments and engagement. I have more fun and I get more bullish when people are chatting and people are hitting the like button and actually engaging, because then it feels like I'm not talking to myself. I do that enough. So let's have some fun, even though it's depressing right now. You know, look, Sol's going to $79. Hate to say it to you, but it's going to 79. And look, it's going to kill them. It's going to kill the alts. Your Solana bags are screwed. Your bags right now, they're probably not looking really good right now because Bitcoin's going to $69,000. It might even go to 66. It might even go to 58,000. But we all have seen what the heck happened last time. And if you had the attention span to pay attention through this live stream for me to give you the fundamentals, then I'm literally, you're wondering like, okay, well, what's the alpha, Dano? Why aren't you giving us the next 100x? Well, if Bitcoin goes to $58,000 and over and you can be patient enough to be on a 5-year time horizon, like the institutions, well, there it is. You could have gotten it with Bitcoin already. That's the sad part. That's why people are so angry. But we can do it. We can do it. I believe in us. Dogecoin's being put on the moon. Dogecoin next year is going to be put on the moon. But until then, it has to step in the rocket. And the rocket might be right here. Might be like 7 cents. And you can see buy Dogecoin. Here's the October 10th liquidation event. And look, we're right back to it. And look at where we were at previous support that sent us flying in just February 2024. And then the same with August 2024 in these particular levels. Now that we've had enough time to see this play out, I mean, look, it's the freaking same support that we've had in previous areas too. Funny how we thought it was going to be different this time and then it wasn't. Funny how we thought it was different this time with the super cycle and that, oh, the ISM and the business thing, whenever that hits that part, oh, it's off to the races. It's all, no, that's a lagging indicator. It's lagged. It means that all of the stuff that we thought was going to translate into the crypto, no, that just went into gold and silver. And so until that, and so now we had to wait a little bit. And I'm telling you guys, the reason why they ain't in yet is because of Binance. They're not in yet. They're not gonna like put their billions of dollars for CZ in the offshore markets to freaking wash trade their profits away. 10% for millions of dollars is insane. Going down 50% in an alt Solana and you're trying to build a treasury on that, you're like, I need Binance gone. Take them out. Regulate the market. Because then at that point, the thing ain't going to trade like a shitcoin anymore. It's going to be an institutional grade asset that's going to more so maybe go down now 10% instead of it getting wash traded from 190 right back down to $90. Guess who holds a lot of Doge? Binance. Guess what has been set up recently? Doge ETF. Guess what also has a bunch of ETFs? Some of our alts. Guess who holds most of the alts? Who bought our bags? Binance. Now do you see So here it is. It's go time. Like this is go time right here. Basically, go time. You have to look at this as like this is the most bullish setup we could ever get, and we're being given it again. Imagine having a chase price above 150K with the rest of your alts right now when you didn't have any money left to even go into it. It would be crazy. So it's just another chance to build up capital. And it's like, where are you going to get capital? Well, I mean, if you're mining fiat, continue to mine the fiat. Yo. Please change title Sol back to $8. I mean, dude, it's like, that would be crazy. So I don't think it's going to go to $8. I mean, that would be crazy. I mean, that's like, I don't know, but I will say Sol does look like it has a really good chance of going back to this level that we just called. This 44 bucks. Who Ivan thinks it's going to 35. Ivan on tech thinks it's going to 35. Yeah, where's his most recent Sol post? Because yeah, he's like, I am going to buy so much Solana if it gets to this. Yeah, sold to $30 if support fails. So it's pretty much the same analysis. He's like, Sol, if support fails, he's like, guys, I don't make the rules. And I've been saying the same thing about Bitcoin and kind of the bearishness here. I'm like, hey, I don't make the rules. And now I see it on the chart. I was trying to be bullish. And I am on the macro, but in terms of just like where the magnet, he's even saying, look, it's a freaking magnet. It's like this is a lot of liquidity sitting right here. And also he's not mentioning it, the one that's sitting right here too. That's that 45 level. Reason why we have the 45 level marked is because we're on the weekly chart on Coinbase and we have an order block right there. That's usually a pretty heavy bounce point. He's going by this one. But there's no order block there. The buying came like here, and this was just like probably the trench. But like institutions, they came in and they were just like, yeah, we're probably gonna scoop up somewhere here. Their insider buddies were like, hey, it's not that dead. It's gonna come back, and this is gonna be the, they were like, don't, it's fine. Yeah. So right here, I think that's the money shot right there, 45 bucks. So Ivan's a little bit more bearish. He's like, it's going to 30. He says, but 30 is the target. But I'm thinking more so 45. But even if you buy spot 45 and it goes to 30, I mean, look, here's the deal. you spot limit 45 and it does go to 30. Okay, cool. You're down 30%. And then it bounces from that level. And now let's go from $30 or $31 average. I don't think that hit exactly 30, but then you go right back up to where we think the target is at the 1618, the 1618 Fibonacci. That's a 1,290% move to the upside when SOL just gets to $440. Yeah, back the truck up. You better back the truck up because, woo, man. And that actually would be beautiful because look, and Solana just made a massive channel. It's like a channel of all channels. It hit here, smack, smack, boom, baby. And then look, it even lines up with the top trend. You put that line here, you can draw some stupid lines. And base mean price would be like 420. Blaze it. That's on the 1618. 1618 is almost right at the 420 level. You don't think Solana in the trenches is going to get Solana to 420 just to make a joke? You're not prepared for the CT community, my friends. So just get ready. Back the truck up. I hope you're prepared. Well, I'm really happy that our stream actually successfully didn't get rugged. I think we probably could have streamed for maybe just like a half an hour. I feel like people just, their attention spans right now are just so terrible. Like they don't even want to listen. You start to act like you're going to teach them something and they're like a 5-year-old. They're like, no, 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 no. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. And I'm like, okay, fine. Jesus. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I just want to try and teach you guys something. And you're like, no, I don't want to. No. I'm like, okay. I even like, it's so funny. It's like, I made a video finally that's bearish. People are like, you're too late. It already happened. And I'm like, okay. That's you never please you're gonna please everyone in this game. That's what I found out. Like you just gotta figure out your stuff, fine tune it. You don't want to keep doing the same thing over and over again, of course, you know, because then that makes you an insane person, you know. But also, you say that to someone, but then they're also telling you at the same time, well, you got to stay consistent, you got to show up, and you're like, what do you want me to do? Well, I hope that welcome back I at least make you guys laugh. That's at least if I can make you laugh too, then. But see, people are out mining fiat. See, GB's like, sorry, I'm painting a house right now. GB is out building a house right now. I'm building a house with my bare hands right now, trying to get more ticker Bitcoin. But look, I posted this 3 days ago, and then they were like 45K. Ha! And then they said, I think you posted this video 2 months too late. And then they were like, well, it just did the other day. And I'm like, well, look at what it's doing right now. Doesn't look, I mean, it's a lot worse than when I posted that video. Now it's under 73. So what are you going to say to me? I'm still too late. But the point that I made in the video is that, look, I don't know where we're going to bounce. I said, look, we could possibly bounce. I said each of these points of price, if you look in the actual 4-hour chart, you can see everywhere on those prices where we bounced. Look, 85 bounce. Look, we bounced right off of 85. Right there. Right here, we bounced right off of 82.3. That was an order block. We bounced right, almost dead on Well, actually, we didn't bounce it off the 76. See, the 76, we didn't really, it was more 74. We almost got that one, but then that was a bounce right up under that. And then look, it's doing the same thing where it's fooling you because there's still more unraveling to go from what happened on 1010. It's not over yet. At least now I've come to the conclusion, I don't know, but I feel that there's still some more max pain and that this lines up perfectly with some of these levels. See, again, I'm saying that this could be it right here because it lines up with the 200-week moving average, but you set a limit at 66 and say, hey, you want to do a trade or a spot or whatever, it might hit that and bounce right back up to 76, but then they could still bring it from 76 and just catch that 59, catch a bid. Because if it's been doing this and it's going bump, 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 all down to just get to this level, this magnetic level, you just have to you just don't know what's going to happen. So, well, we'll see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate it. Next time when you come back to the channel, have a better attention span. I feel like you guys just drop off when it starts to get fundamentals, and it's just like, hey, if Bitcoin ends up going to all these prices that I just called, you'll come back to the channel and watch, because maybe then at this point you'll listen a little bit longer. That's, I think, what kind of frustrates me a little bit sometimes with the content now. It's like, yeah, you want the short content, but inside, it's like reading a book. You know, you can, if you read through the book a little bit, you're going to get to your favorite chapter. Well, guess what? This is the chapter where you're going to make some damn money, because this is where the price is probably most likely going to go. It's most likely max pain instead of a bounce. Like I said, not going to give it to us that easy, guys. I just said that the other day. They're not going to give it to us that easy. You think it's that easy? Give me a break. You're not prepared then. They never going to give it to us that easy. So we'll see you on the next one, guys, because regardless, we are going to be switching things up. We're going to be adding new things, trying new stuff, but we're coming to the live stream. We have a feeling that this content and live streaming for crypto is going to have another resurgence again. It really is going to. And this channel is going to be on the top. And if you want to come with me, Dano Dojo crew, we're going to be the richest community in crypto. Got to say it to believe it. You got to act to believe it. You got to do the steps to do it. And if you want to come with me, click on the damn links and let's get to work. We don't have time for anything else. Let's do it.